Saudi Arabia's 86-year-old ruler announcing an unprecedented economic aid package for his people. The package is estimated at $36 billion, seen as an attempt to get ahead of the potential unrest. They don't want to be the next Tunisia, Egypt, or Libya. Time to let the Willis watchdogs out. Larry Wingett is a best-selling author in Phoenix. Clint Greenleaf is the chairman and CEO of Greenleaf Book Group in Denver. And Ben Ferguson is radio talk show host in Memphis. Larry, I want to start with you. What do you make of this? A little bribe action get you not to, so you don't protest in the streets, I guess?
Well, I'm not sure it's bribe action, but I definitely think it's a preemptive strike to make sure that what he's watching on television in Libya and Tunisia and Egypt doesn't happen out in the streets in front of the palace. Seems to me like a smart move on his part to make sure that he sort of keeps all the unrest away from him.
Ben, what do you say?
I think it's a brilliant move by a guy that's looking at the economic costs that have happened to all these other countries. I mean, we saw how much money Egypt's economy was losing every day, and the people are going to be happy. He's giving interest-free home loans. I mean, that's a smart move by a guy that's saying, hey, I don't want any part of this uprising. I'll make concessions beforehand so they like me instead of hate me and wreck my entire city and the countryside. So I think it's a very smart move by a guy that's paying attention, which is, you know, proof that democracy can be a very powerful thing even in the Middle East.
Democracy and free money, Clint. What do you say?
Well, right. I mean, you look at the standard of living in Saudi Arabia is not that high, but he's got 47% of the entire population there is under the age of 18. So they need to do something, and it's really a bright move. Look at Libya. You got Gaddafi over there screaming, saying, "I'll kill everybody before they take me alive." And the other side, you got Saudi, the brilliant people saying, hey, here's a bunch of money. Just don't riot. Let's all take it easy. Let's all have a good time.
You know, I'm not sure it's going to keep people quiet forever. You know, you use the money, it's done, and then you move on, right? It'll be interesting to see. Right. Next story. According to the New York Post, nearly 300,000 federal workers are not paying Uncle Sam. That's right, shortchanging the government billions of taxpayer dollars. Republican Tom Coburn of Oklahoma and Democrat Claire McCaskill of Missouri have introduced a bill in the Senate that would force these employees to pay their taxes or get fired. Clint, you like it?
I love the bill. I cannot believe this is even an issue up for discussion, because I know that in my business, if I don't pay my taxes, I've got a lot of people ready to rip my head off if I don't do this. I guess it's just like it's a God-given right to be able to collectively bargain. Why not have a God-given right not to have to pay your taxes if you work for the government, too?
So if you live in Saudi Arabia, you're getting thousands and thousands of dollars of free money. And if you live in America, you're getting fired for not paying your taxes. Larry, what do you say?
You know, I think we really want to save the money. The way to do it is just to fire the 300,000 right now, not give them the ability to pay back their money. Just call it even, and don't hire anybody to backfill their position. Let's just cut them all loose right now, and we'll save a whole lot more money.
I like that, Larry. Clint, what do you say? Or Ben, I'm sorry, we haven't heard from you.
Yeah, no, hey, I think the one person that's livid right now is Martha Stewart. Is this not like the ultimate definition of insider trading? It's like, hey, I work for the guy. I know how the audit system works. I know how to play the game. I'm not going to pay my taxes. I mean, for them, I agree. I think this when you go, hey, guess what? You're busted and you're fired. Send Donald Trump to do it. I don't care.
All right. Okay, in an impressive comeback from bankruptcy, General Motors last year posted its first annual profit since 2004. Woohoo! GM's net income totaled nearly $5 billion, but the company ended the year with $5 billion in debt, $6 billion in preferred stock obligation, and a pension plan underfunded that is by $12 billion. Ben, you know, here are your taxpayer dollars at work, buddy. What do you say?
Yeah, how hard is it to make money if every year, the year before, you let somebody not bail you out for all the bills you didn't pay? I mean, I would have loved to have had a huge profit with my company last year if I could just not paid everything from the year before and the year before that. So I want to see where they are 3 years from now and 4 years from now when everything hasn't been zeroed out and they didn't use my money to do it.
Larry?
Well, you know, I agree. We never should have bailed them out, and I think a lot of this is just creative accounting. However, they did do a lot of things right when they took advantage of the bankruptcy. I mean, they got
taking our money.
Yeah, I agree with all of that, but they still did some things right. They cut some brands, they cut dealerships, they got a lot leaner, so I'll give them the credit for that part of it.
Well, Clint, are you thinking you love this company, or please pay us back the money we are owed?
Yeah, just give us the money back. And I totally agree with 3 or 4 years down the road. If you can make money in 3 or 4 years, then I'll give you a pat in the back. In the meantime, it's really easy to make money when all you're doing is bringing in revenue and you have zero expenses. I think I could make money that way pretty easily, too.
All right, Ramin. Okay, officially. But you got to hear about this. Finally, a new study by Swedish and Finnish economists. You wondered what they were doing. This is what they were doing. They say right-wing candidates are better looking than left-wing counterparts. That might be true in the U.S. too. Sarah Palin, you got to say, she is better looking than Joe Biden.
Sorry.
Larry? Larry, what do you say here? I think this is a story for you.
If right-wingers were better looking than left-wingers, then Tea Partiers would all be supermodels. You know, I think it's kind of it's a fun thing to talk about, but I don't really think that's true, because you can draw these dumb conclusions like right-wingers obviously support people just because they're good-looking instead of because they have substance, or people with substance must just be better looking. I mean, you can draw lots of silly conclusions, so I don't think it's true.
All right. Well, Clint, is there any shadow of meaning in this, Clint?
Oh, yeah. I mean, my wife is definitely more conservative than liberal, and she's drop dead gorgeous. So as far as I'm concerned, this is perfectly logical.
All right. All right. We still don't have Ben, right? Can't hear Ben. Ben can't hear me.
I got you.
Darn
Now
it,
I got you.
I wanted to hear his comments on this.
Can you hear me now?
I can. So you heard the story?
All right. See, all I got to say is this. Finally, a study says that I am hot, and I like that study. I'm a Republican, I'm a conservative, and now there's proof that says I'm a good-looking man.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
It'll take more than the study.
All right, Larry, Clint, Ben, thanks for the help today. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.